Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Sunday, 20th day of March, the 17th day of Adar Sheni. Well, we have this rule that applies throughout our year, and it is that Shoelin v'darshin be'inyane hachag. We ask and we learn about all the matters of a holiday, Shloshim Yom Lifnei Hachag, 30 days before that holiday. And we are now within 30 days of the holiday of Pesach, so it is appropriate for us to start on our quest to have a perfect Pesach, halachically perfect Pesach in every possible way. So here's a quick halacha to start things off, and it is this. Maggid, at the Seder, when we have that long part of the Seder where we tell the story of going out of Mitzrayim, it is very possible for people to become hungry and or thirsty during that part of the Seder. So the simple question is it okay to have water or maybe even sip on a cup of coffee while you are in the middle of Maggid, just to, help quiet down your thirst, your hunger, or whatever? So can you do that during Maggid? So Rav Elyashiv was asked this question, and he said that if you look carefully at the Mishnah Berurah in the Biur Halacha, the Mishnah Berurah says that we fill the cup of wine, the second cup of wine, right before we begin Maggid, and that's because we're supposed to have the entire Maggid recited over a cup of wine. So we have the poured cup, the second cup of the Arba Kosos, waiting for us, and we recite the entire Maggid over that cup of wine. And he says, the Mishnah Berurah says this, that it is inappropriate to have a cup of wine while we are reciting the entire thing over that cup of wine. So no other cup of wine should be drunk at that point. From that, Rabbi Elyashiv deduces that it is okay at that point for a person, but don't tune out. It is okay for a person to have a drink of water or coffee at that point, because the Biur Halacha is just telling us that it's a cup of wine that's inappropriate during Maggid, but a sip of coffee seems to be fine. So Rabbi Elyashiv says that it's like this: in great need. Okay, if there was, quote, a great need, like you were just, I don't know, so weak that you were passing out if you didn't have a sip of coffee, then yes, in case of great need, you could. But he concludes by saying that if it isn't a great need, and you're just being a little bit of a finicky person, and you'll be fine without the coffee, you just kind of like want it, he says then it's best to try not to have it. And that's because we should show a sense of reverence and awe for what's happening. We are describing and going through the feeling of leaving Mitzrayim, and sipping on a cup of coffee while you're doing that just doesn't quite fit. So yes, if there's a, quote, great need, then you could have a small drink at that point, but without a great need, Rabbi Elyashiv says you should try to be not drinking anything so that you can have that feeling of reverence and awe for what's happening there at the Seder. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.